Thank you very much, Professor Briggs. And our next speaker is also a Jacobs alumna, Tanja Annabelle Deisler. Tanja, after graduating from Jacobs, she committed her education at HALT, International Business School, and at MIT. In 2018, Tanja started her own fashion brand, Corner Office. Tanja's brand focuses on sustainable production within the European Union and nearshore, and it aims to be the one-stop shop for all things related to professional clothing for women. Corner Office doesn't only sell clothes. It was conceived from the desire to boost confidence and pride, build a community of inspiring females, and empower women at the workplace. So now let's give a warm welcome to Tanja Deisler.
Okay, picture this. You're 14 years old, standing in the schoolyard, with your friend Becky. And you just came out of class and you got your grades for an exam. And Becky's standing there and she's saying something like, "Oh man, I got such a bad grade. Oh, I'm so stupid. The teacher's stupid. The exam is stupid." And what do as a 14-year-old? Obviously, you're like, "No, Becky, I also got a really bad grade," even though you didn't, because you studied really hard for it. But nevertheless, you're like, "Yes, Becky, everything is stupid, and it's so stupid, everything's stupid." So, what just happened? Well, you made yourself small so that somebody else could feel better. So that Becky could feel better about her grade. Instead, you could have also just asked the question, "Becky, how does that make you feel? Why do you think you're not good at this? And maybe you want to get better at it? What do you think you have to do?" Well, as a 14-year-old, you're probably going to get a response from Becky who's going to say, "Well, what are you, my mom?" But you get the point. So instead of showing empathy by just comparing your situation, ask questions to understand more about her situation or that person's situation. So I grew up abroad. I was 7 years old, and then I moved to Britain, and then I moved a year to Spain, and then I spent 2 years in France. And then I came back to Germany, where I'm originally from, and and then I also skipped a class in German school. So on paper, I looked really smart, and I already spoke 4 languages fluently. I was 12 years old. And what I really perfected at that age was making myself feel small to fit in. And well, first of all, I thought I was too fat. I think most of us ladies can probably relate the pressure we had back then. And then I started a little picky eating phase. Then I thought I was trying too hard at school, so I stopped trying so hard, and then I graduated with a solid B+, to the horror of my parents. And then above all, I really tried to fit in and, be funny and all that. But it didn't really help me get any more birthday party invitations. So, it is what it is. And at the time, I was hanging around with a really negative person, right? So she'd always be a little bit dramatic, but she would joke about it. And she'd be like, "Oh my God, I got such a bad grade. I'm going to throw myself off the staircase, into the depths." And it was getting so bad. This was, a joke back then, ha ha ha. But it was really negative and negative and negative. And then in the end, I brought this home to my parents, and my parents were like, okay, they had to sit me down when this got a little bit out of hand. And they said, "You know what, you should really stop hanging out with this person. It's too negative for you." And I thought, wow, I have never actually listened to my parents ever, except for this one time. And then I went to my friend and I said, "Listen, you know what, I don't think we should hang out anymore." And there it was. That was the first time that I broke up a friendship and I felt empowered. I left school and I came to Jacobs University, and it was like a reset button. Everyone here is motivated, everybody wants to do things, everybody, has big dreams. And well, not everybody except for my ex-boyfriend. So, you know, he was like the knight in shining armor, and I was the princess, you know. So obviously, the knight in shining armor came, and the princess said, "Oh, well, hello. You know, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend." And then, yeah, I don't want to talk smack about my ex-boyfriend, you know, but let's just skip to the part where, you know, I break up with him, and yeah, and then. At that point, I made a decision. And I was like, next time, I'm going to have a boyfriend, because in the end, you spend a lot of time with your boyfriend. Next time, I'm going to pick that boyfriend. And I'm not going to wait until the night comes and rescues me. I'm going to pick it, even if I have to work for it. You know, so it's empowerment. I'm able to create my own reality. And that was that. And then, you know, upon leaving university, I went into management consulting, and, you know, not all your colleagues can become your friends, but some do and some don't. And, you know, you meet new people, and then some of them becomes friends for life. Others don't. For example, I had this one colleague, and she was so attention seeking, and she really wanted everybody's attention, also mine. I don't know why, but it got so far that she actually started hitting on my boyfriend. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, like, you keep talking about yourself all the time. It's just about you, which is fine. You know, it's okay. It's your show. But you know, that went a little bit too far. So then I went up to her and I was like, you know what, I don't think we should be friends anymore. And yeah, and I mean, you know, obviously what goes around comes around. So I have also had people who told me, listen, I don't like your vibe. But that's you know, that's all part of life. You are the average of the 7 people you surround yourself with. I chose this topic for today's speech because I want to talk about personal development, growth in collaboration via your friends. There's a lot of theories around friendship, and the law of averages originally comes from the motivational speaker Jim Rohn. And there's another theory by Tai Lopez, and he says it's a 33% rule. So 1/3 of your spare time you spend with people who you admire, who are above you. And then 1/3 of the time you spend with people who are your peers. And 1/3 of your time you spend giving back to the community. And then there's also another theory I really liked from Stacey Flowers, and she says you need 5 people to be happy. You need a cheerleader, you need a mentor, you need a coach, you need a peer, and you need a friend. And now, what all these theories have in common is that the people who you surround yourself influence you, whether you like it or not. You are the average of the 7 people you surround yourself with. And that is really what defines me as a person and my success today. And I'm really lucky to have found people who have such diversified personalities that they don't only cover one area, but they cover many areas. So I have a group of friends of my girlfriends, and you know, they inspire me, I learn from them, and they challenge my ideas. You know, I even chit-chat with one of my friends. I was talking to her about statistical methods for hours this one time when we were on vacation. And obviously, you know, all my friends, you can have a great night out with them. You always need that. And growth comes with age, right? Where you are right now, set a vision for yourself. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be charismatic? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to be charming, powerful? Do you want to be loving? I used to be an R when I met people. And I remember I was just starting here at Jacobs, and then I met this one girl, and she just would not gossip. And I was so into gossiping back then, and I would like gossip. And then she just wouldn't. And I was like, oh, that is really cool. That's a really cool character trait. I want to be more like that. And then I stopped gossiping. I mean, well, not entirely, because, you know, it is fun though. But, you know, so I met people, they became my friends, I saw characteristics in them that I liked, and then you know, that's how you motivate each other, that's how you inspire each other to become the best version of yourself. And I believe that friends are, first of all, there to change something, to remind you to change something about you when they see you are unhappy. And this was a couple of years back, and I was having a little bit of a misunderstanding with my boss, and then I kept sending these voice messages to my girlfriend's group, and I was like, oh, you don't believe it, oh my god, like today he did this, and then he did that, and oh, this is so annoying, and my friends were like, they listened to this for a while, and they said, girl, you need to change something about your current situation, because we cannot bear it anymore. You're complaining the whole time. Yeah, change something about it, or just like stop complaining, please. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I quit. I quit my job. And it was the best thing I ever did. And 2, friends are there to remind you how far you've come. And I was, my friend, she was dropping me off. I don't know, we just had coffee, and then she was dropping me off at home. And I was like, you know what, I feel like I'm running. I'm seeing all these people in front of me, and on LinkedIn and on, social media, and you compare yourself to everybody, you're always like, oh, how am I going to make Forbes 30 under 30 if I'm already 32, right? And then I was telling her, look, and she was like, okay, but have you ever considered just stopping and looking back, and then just looking at how far you've actually come? And then she reminded me that life is not a race, but it's a journey. And so I was like, you're really right. And that's what friends are for. They are there to celebrate your small successes and your big successes, and they're there to, have tea with you and like just enjoy the view and just look at everything that you've done so far and to remind you, you're great. And the third thing is, friends are there to believe in you, and to believe in you more than you actually believe in yourself. And this was, I think, 2 weeks ago. I was like chatting with a friend, and she was like, "Yeah, Esther, what's up? Are you CEO yet?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? What? What did you just say? You just asked me if I'm a CEO yet?" She was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Wait, but you think I could be a CEO?" She was like, "Yeah." Why? Why are you doubting yourself? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could be a CEO. Yeah, why not? And there we go. I mean, it's a future plan for me to be a CEO, but it's a possibility because your friends, well, my friends in this case, believe more in me than I actually believe in myself. And if it's one thing I want to leave you guys with today, it is that you only have one life on this earth, so just make it worth your while. Thank you.